In the darkness of anxieties and pressures, have you ever wondered how moments of true happiness can shine in your life? Do you feel burdened by unnecessary weights knocking you down? The answer lies deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy, a beacon shining on the journey to liberate oneself from heavy burdens. Stoicism not only teaches us to live with discipline and pragmatism, but also opens the path to learning to let go gracefully. This isn't about being cold or indifferent. It's about discerning selection, where we choose to allocate emotions and spirit to what truly matters. The art of letting go, a process of finding the delicate balance between caring and not caring, is a lesson in emotionally intelligent investment. Its beauty lies in choice. Choosing to let go isn't defeat, but a step towards a happier life. Learning this art can free up time, reduce stress, and ultimately lead to a happier existence. And guess what? It's easier than you think. So through today's video, let's embark on this journey to discover 7 pieces of advice that can help you master the art of non-attachment and start living a happier life, based on the principles of Stoic philosophy. These pieces of advice not only help alleviate psychological burdens, but also open the door to a peaceful and meaningful life, where each decision and action is a step forward on the quest for true happiness. Practice number 1. Love yourself. Many people often confuse loving oneself with the trap of narcissism or the misconception that there is an excessively large ego. However, this is a serious misunderstanding. Self-love is not a selfish act, but rather a process of nurturing oneself comprehensively, including physically, psychologically, and spiritually. This encompasses deeply caring for one's health, happiness, and basic needs, rather than sacrificing unnecessary personal happiness to please others. A specific example of self-love is maintaining a healthy lifestyle, including a balanced diet, regular exercise, and sufficient rest. Those who love themselves will not allow themselves to burn out from overworking or neglect their health in pursuit of material success. The question arises, why do we often find it easier to love others than to love ourselves? Part of it may be due to society often perpetuating the message that self-love is a selfish or arrogant act. For example, a busy person who typically devotes most of their time to work and family decides to spend a weekend day attending a yoga or meditation class, or decides to allocate an evening to go to a spa for relaxation. Initially, this action may be perceived negatively by others, thinking it's a selfish choice or a sign of being too self-centered without considering responsibilities towards others. However, through a deeper understanding, these activities are important measures to improve mental and physical health. Participating in a yoga class not only helps stretch the body and reduce stress through movements and breathing, but also allows the mind to relax, reducing tension and fatigue from work. Similarly, going to a spa is not only a means of caring for appearance, but also a way to replenish energy, nourish the soul, and become serene, helping to restore balance between work and life. Investing time and energy in self-care and personal development is not only a privilege, but also a responsibility to oneself and those around you. That's why activities like going to a spa or participating in personal development courses should be encouraged and valued as an integral part of daily life. To build a strong foundation for mental and physical health, as well as comprehensive personal development. Similarly, taking pride in oneself and one's achievements does not equate to arrogance. One may talk about a successful project at work not to boast, but to share joy and satisfaction from the effort put in. This helps them recognize their self-worth and enhance their self-esteem. Practicing self-love can sometimes be more challenging for those who grew up in environments lacking love or encouragement. For example, someone who has experienced a difficult childhood may face greater challenges in learning to love and care for themselves. For them, simple acts like taking time each day to meditate or write emotional journals can become important steps on the journey of self-love. Finally, loving oneself is not just a spontaneous decision or action, but a lifelong process that requires perseverance and self-awareness. By mastering the art of self-love, we not only improve the quality of our lives, but also become stronger in the face of challenges and adversity, maintaining faith and happiness in all circumstances. Have you ever stopped to reflect on the inevitable fact that each of us will soon leave this world? This question is not meant to scare you, but to open a door to deep understanding and personal transformation. Let's explore how this awareness can drive us to live a meaningful and passionate life in the next lesson. Practice number 2. You'll soon be dead. Thinking about death can propel us to live a life true to ourselves. This is a reminder of the inevitable conclusion of life, not just a wake-up call, but also a call to action, to live fully, authentically, and wholeheartedly with our true essence. At a memorable commencement speech at Stanford University in 2005, Steve Jobs, with humility and profound insight, shared his journey through darkness and light. It was a journey of self-discovery amidst the storm of adversities. Just a year after beginning his battle with cancer, which ultimately ended his life in 2011, Jobs imparted 3 stories with underlying power, declaring, "Remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose." Thereby, he emphasized the importance of prioritizing rightly, nothing more so than through the lens of regret on one's deathbed. Let's switch to another story in 2012, where a palliative care nurse recorded heartbreaking experiences from her patients in their final weeks of life in the book The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying. The book chronicled years of experiences caring for terminally ill patients during the last 3 to 12 weeks of their lives. Conversations with hundreds of cancer patients revealed the greatest regret. "I wish I dared to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me." Indeed, how many of us have stood at life's crucial crossroads only to choose a path that doesn't reflect our true essence and dreams, but merely satisfies others' expectations? Most of us are in a state of spiritual collapse without realizing it. We go about our daily routines like going to work or stepping into a Starbucks for a cup of coffee. never pausing to contemplate the natural essence of our existence. Whether believing in a supreme entity or not, let's acknowledge the fact that we exist on a planet orbiting around a giant star in an infinite universe. Our existence, within the framework of a single galaxy among hundreds of billions, becomes incredibly insignificant. Under this perspective, daily worries, fears, and disappointments all seem trivial. But within that insignificance, we find liberation, an opportunity to shed trivial concerns and reassess what truly matters. It's not always a solution to every problem, but it's an essential step to recognize our place in the universe and remind ourselves of what truly matters or doesn't. Leave your mark on this lesson by sharing the significance of living fully in every moment. Open your heart and share your thoughts and feelings about this lesson. Your comment is not just a personal imprint, but also a source of inspiration connecting like-minded souls on the journey to find the meaning of life. Practice number 3. Learn to say no. Refusing capital is not difficult. What we fear is the attitude and reaction of the requester. We are afraid of losing their favor and impacting future relationships. Seeking to please everyone perhaps often originates from childhood. We are raised to be good boys or girls. Many children do not receive enough attention from family, so they seek it by satisfying others. Chloe Brotheridge is a hypnotherapist and author of the book Brave New Girl, 7 Steps to Confidence. She shares stories of patients she has treated. One client told Chloe that when she was young, she felt responsible for her depressed mother's happiness. Now she feels compelled to agree to every request out of fear of upsetting others. Another client also told the therapist that he used to fear his father's outbursts of anger and would often say yes to avoid angering anyone. Vanessa Bones, a professor at Cornell University in New York, suggests that sometimes we say yes simply because we feel uncomfortable saying no. We always want to be loved, so we feel guilty about disappointing others, especially family and close friends. We may also worry that saying no will damage a relationship. Jenny Tights, a psychologist in Beverly Hills, USA, says this fear is particularly strong because no one wants to feel abandoned. Some people find it harder to refuse, such as worriers or those who always avoid conflict. However, many studies show that most people are not as uncomfortable with the answer no as we think. This is because we have a harsh bias, the belief that others will judge us more harshly than they do. Many of us are accustomed to saying yes to the point where we don't even know what we want. If these requests make your life too busy, leaving you no time for yourself, and worse, seriously affecting your mental health, it's time to make a change. In Stoic philosophy, learning to say no is not just a basic life skill, but also an expression of self-control and self-mastery. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic philosophers, wrote that the greatest power of a human being is the ability to control their thoughts and actions, not being influenced by external pressures. To make this change, the first step is to recognize the value and power of saying no. By refusing requests, that don't align with your values, goals, or needs. You are respecting yourself and your precious time. This not only helps you prioritize what truly matters, but also sends a strong message to others that you are confident and have a strong stance. The next step is to develop clear and confident communication skills. When refusing, maintain your stance, but also show respect. This can be done by providing a reason without feeling the need to justify your decision excessively. For example, instead of just saying no, you can say, "I appreciate you thinking of me, but I can't agree at this time due to other priorities." Furthermore, practicing self-observation and self-awareness will help you understand better why you feel pressured to say yes. Reflecting on situations where you have refused and realizing that the consequences are often not as severe as you imagine can help reduce fear and strengthen courage. Finally, remember that refusing is part of self-care. When you set boundaries and protect your time, energy, and mental health, you are not only helping yourself, but also improving the quality of your relationships with others. A healthy relationship requires respect and understanding from both sides. Remember the advice of Epictetus, the talented Stoic philosopher who said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." By learning to say no, you are stepping onto the path of true freedom and happiness, in line with the spirit of Stoic philosophy. Your reflection is crucial. How do you interpret Epictetus's teachings? Share your unique perspective in the comments below. Have you ever wondered, what does true success mean to me? In the next practice, we will explore and establish your definition of success from your perspective. This is not only an important step on the path to self-realization and self-satisfaction, but also an opportunity for you to live a meaningful life true to yourself. Practice number 4. Establish your definition of success. At first glance at the modern world, with the sparkling lights of the city and the echoes of material success, we are often easily drawn into the belief that success is measured by wealth, fame, and power. This creates a society where an individual's worth is often determined by what they possess or the positions they attain within the social power structure. However, delving deep into the soul and life philosophy of Stoicism, we begin to recognize a completely different, profound, and liberating perspective on success. According to Stoic philosophy, success does not lie in the material achievements we accumulate, but rather in finding inner contentment and peace. This does not depend on any external factors, but is the result of a life lived according to righteous, virtuous, and meaningful principles. Stoicism emphasizes that true success is the ability of each individual to self-determine their worth. It does not rely on evaluations or expectations from others, but rather on understanding and living by one's deepest values and beliefs. This requires a courageous journey of self-discovery, a process of questioning and seeking answers to deep-seated questions such as, what truly brings happiness to me? What gives me inner satisfaction? As individuals embark on finding answers to these questions, they not only discover freedom in living by their true values, but also uncover the profound meaning of life. Every decision and action becomes more purposeful, reflecting a conscious choice toward realizing one's definition of success. Through this, not only does self-confidence and autonomy elevate, but it also opens the path to a fulfilling, happy, and truly meaningful life. Like Seneca, one of the great figures of Stoicism, once affirmed, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." Every moment of life is precious and should be lived to the fullest with deep meaning. By self-determining and pursuing a definition of success that truly reflects individual values and beliefs, we not only learn to live a meaningful life, but also find each day filled with joy, satisfaction, and inner peace. Consider the story of Liam, a talented writer with a profound and unique view of the world. Liam spent much of his career in relentless pursuit of fame and recognition from the literary world and the public. He believed that his success and worth as a writer were measured by the number of books sold, literary awards he could gather, and accolades in leading magazines. However, after years of struggle and search, Liam realized that the path he had chosen no longer brought him the joy or satisfaction he once craved. In a moment of clarity, Liam realized that his true passion lay not in conquering titles or receiving admiration from others, but in expressing himself and exploring the rich, diverse aspects of life through his writing. He began to appreciate the true value of writing as a means to connect with himself and share his unique perspective with the world, rather than as a tool to achieve invisible recognition. With a bold decision to let go of the pressure to always produce successful works according to society's definition, Liam began to spend more time writing with a free spirit, unencumbered by constraints or expectations. He started creating works that reflected profound insights into life, love, and humanity. Works that, when read, could feel Liam's heart and soul expanding across every page. As a result, Liam found an unexpected source of happiness and satisfaction from artistic creation without being bound by any expectations. He discovered his definition of success: a true artist's life, lived not for fame or recognition, but for passion and freedom in creativity. Liam's story is not just a lesson in finding meaning and happiness in pursuing passions authentically and freely, but also evidence that inner peace and profound satisfaction can come from living honestly with oneself and with what one truly loves. Through this lesson, have you found the answer to the question, what is true success for you? Share your answer in the comments below, for who knows, there may be many others who share your perspective. Practice number 5. Choose wisely. Astronaut Chris Ferguson, an experienced commander, faced a difficult decision as he prepared for a historic journey to the International Space Station. His immediate choice wasn't about the complex calculations of the mission or the safety of his crew. Instead, it was about something Ferguson held above all else: love and family bond. In his mind, he decided to stay, not out of fear or doubt, but because he wanted to be present on his daughter's wedding day. This sacrifice not only showcased bravery, but also epitomized the essence of love, as he chose his family over personal glory. Life presents us with myriad tough choices, demanding that we discern what truly matters. Sometimes this choice entails forsaking other seemingly glittering opportunities. Yet, in each small decision, we have a chance to demonstrate and affirm our values, whether it's choosing to spend time with family instead of working overtime, or opting for truth over convenience. In a world where emphasis on personal success and immediate gains often takes precedence, Stoicism reminds us of the importance of placing values and principles above all else. We learn that true happiness isn't about having everything we want, but rather wanting what we have chosen. This is a lesson in genuine freedom, the freedom to live a meaningful life, not just for ourselves, but also for those around us. To illustrate this principle, consider the story of a renowned doctor, Anna, when she stood at the crossroads between her career and family ties. Similar to Ferguson, this doctor faced a challenging choice between her career and family. She was invited to join a prestigious international research project, offering personal development opportunities and contributions to the medical field. She had to choose between pursuing her scientific passion or staying to care for her frail elderly father, who needed her every day. Confronting this decision, the doctor deeply contemplated the true value and meaning of her life and career. She chose to stay, a decision that not only demonstrated her sacrifice, but also affirmed a powerful message about love and responsibility. Her decision didn't shake the world like a space flight might have, but it resonated deeply with those who understand the power of familial love. Through this action, the doctor illustrated that the toughest choices often reveal our true nature, shedding light on the deepest values we pursue. Choosing to stay and care for her father showed that careers and achievements are not only measured by diplomatic milestones or material success, but also by unseen contributions to family and community. During the time caring for her father, Anna learned valuable lessons about patience, compassion, and the power of unconditional love. The moments by her father's sickbed became irreplaceable, proving that presence and sharing are the most critical elements in nurturing family relationships. Stoicism isn't just a philosophy of resilience against adversity. It's also a reminder of who we can become through our choices. The difficult decisions like those of Ferguson and Dr. Anna aren't just stories of sacrifice, but also evidence of living a meaningful, free, and values-driven life. Fear is always an invisible adversary, silently stalking our every step. However, if we learn to embrace and overcome fear, we'll discover the latent strength within us. Don't let fear be your barrier. Let it become the launching pad toward the life you desire. That's what I aim to guide you toward in the next practical exercise.